Okay, hi everyone. So today we're going to be continuing on with our work on geometry terms, okay? And our learning intention is I'll be able to identify and describe the terms line segment, point of intersection, and collinear points, okay? So these three new terms are being added to the four we did yesterday, which were plane, point, line, and ray. Okay, so firstly we're going to have a look at a line segment, okay? So a line segment is part of a line, okay? Just like a ray was part of a line segment is part of a line. Now the line segment has two endpoints and can be measured using a ruler. Okay, so as you have a look at the picture here, we have what we think is a line. However, it has two endpoints, okay? The line doesn't go on in both directions, so that's therefore we know it is a line segment, okay? Because it has two endpoints, A and B, okay? So that's a line segment, okay? So that's, a lot of people get really confused between a line and a line segment. So the line has infinite amount of points and it goes on in both directions. A line segment has two endpoints, okay? And it can be measured using a ruler. We couldn't measure a line because it goes on indefinitely. So this is an example of a line segment here, AB. And it says we use two square brackets to denote that there are two endpoints, okay? So if you see here, this line segment can be named as either square bracket AB square bracket or square bracket BA square bracket, okay? Because they are the endpoints, okay? So you do square bracket AB or square bracket BA. It doesn't matter, okay? Now let's say we had another line segment here. So a point, line and a point. Let's say that's C and that's D. If we were to label that line segment, we would have square bracket C, D, square bracket. Or I could also write square bracket D, C, square bracket, okay? So I have my two square brackets and my two endpoints when I'm labeling a line segment. And then as we said earlier, you can measure a line segment using a ruler, okay? So for example, there, between AB, they're saying that's 6 centimeters, okay? So if you had a line segment, you can measure it using your ruler, okay? So that's the difference with your line segment and then your ray or your line. You can't measure them because they go on indefinitely, but your line segment has two endpoints, so we can measure it using a ruler. Okay, so you might be wondering, how would we show this? That the length of this line segment is 6 centimeters. So we would do line AB line is equal to 6 centimeters, okay? And that notation means that the length of that line segment is 6 centimeters. So therefore, if you were given something like this, line CD is equal to the line F, okay? This one here means the length of the line segment CD, so they want you to measure it. And here would be the length of the line segment EF. They want you to measure it, okay? So that's what that notation means. And you might come across that kind of notation in some of the questions today. Okay, now we're going to have a look at the point of intersection, okay? So the point of intersection is simply where two or more lines, rays, or line segments meet or cross, okay? So it's basically where two lines, or a line and a ray, or a line and a line segment, they cross. And that point where they cross is called the point of intersection. Okay, they're intersecting with each other, they're crossing. So as you can see here, we have a line P and a line OR, and they cross here at the point A. So that is the point of intersection. Okay, if we had, let's say, a ray, so that's C and that's D, and then we had another ray up here, that's F, we'll say that is G. This point here will be the point of intersection. We could call that A, or whatever you want to call it, okay? So it's basically the point where two or more lines, rays, or line segments cross each other, okay? And it doesn't have to only be two. We could have had another line there. So I'll just put my point on that line now. So point down there, and a point up there. And we will call them T. P and V. And then we will call our line M, okay? And that line is also crossing there, and it's also intersecting with the two rays at that point there, A. Okay, so that's what the point of intersection is, the point where two or more lines, rays, or line segments meet or cross over. Okay, now the last thing we're going to have a look at today are collinear points. Okay, so that sounds a little bit confusing, but basically collinear points are points that lie on the same line. Okay, so if you were to draw a line through however many points, so if a line can go through all those points, they would be collinear. Okay, so as you can see here in this example, we have A, B, and C. Okay, and we see that a line can be drawn through that hits A, B, and C. Okay, a line can go through all of those points, and that shows that those points are collinear. So it says 2 points are always collinear because it is always possible to draw 1 point through both points. Or should I say, sorry, that it's always possible to draw one line through both points. However, 3 or more points may or may not be collinear. Okay, so anytime you have 2 points, okay, say we had a point here, they are collinear. We can draw a line between them. Another point here, so that's O and S, and we can draw a line between these two, so they are collinear. Okay, however, as I said, 3 or more points may not be collinear. So if you have a look at the example here, we have D, E, and F. Okay, so we could definitely draw a line between D and F, and we can then try and draw a line through D and E, and then another line through F and E. However, we can't draw one line that would go through D, E, and F, okay, because we know a line has to be straight, and this here, there's lots of bends there, bend there, okay? So we can't draw a line that goes through all of those points, okay? So 2 points are always collinear, but 3 or more points may or may not be collinear. Here they were collinear, but here they aren't. Okay, so now I'd like you to try this question, okay? So this isn't in the book. I'd like you to try these questions, question 1 to 7. So you're going to draw the plane into your copy like you did yesterday, and then you're going to draw these lines, rays, and line segments. And then the question 7 is about the point of intersection. So try and find any points of intersection and mark them on your plane.